cute. Hold on. This is fun.
What is that?
I think it's mold.
I don't think that's how mold works. It shouldn't be on a drink.
I don't want to open this because we might start the zombie apocalypse.
That's how The Last of Us starts.
Oh no. Elliot Page is like, oh, I'm going to drink this apple juice. And then she goes, ksh, and lets out all the zombie germs. New episode of this show that we do. Welcome. It's the daily placeholder is what it's called.
Yes.
We never got around to naming it.
Nope.
We were calling it that was like its working title, and then we just forgot ultimately. Unfortunately, we have bad news to share with you all watching. The millions of you that watch.
All the bots that watch.
Polly Lou Livingston has passed away at the age of 91. R.I.P. She is most known for her work on Adventure Time as Tree Trunks, which is the little green elephant. And that's all I know her from, but she is incredible in that show.
Yeah.
And also, Christopher Plummer has passed away at the age of 91. He was a legend of cinema and television. He is most recently known for his role in Knives Out, and is also famous for being in Beginners, The Insider, All the Money in the World, A Beautiful Mind, and apparently, what were we just talking about? Sound of Music.
And having not seen most of those, but knowing of them, he's great in all of them.
Yeah, the only one out of the ones that I just said that I have seen is Knives Out, which is he's really good in that.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he has passed.
And he's really good in All the Money in the World, a movie he wasn't originally supposed to be in.
Is that the one where he replaced Kevin Spacey?
That's the Kevin Spacey one. Yep.
Incredible. You know, when T.J. Miller, when he called in a fake bomb threat and got canceled, everyone was like, take him out of Deadpool 2. And then they were like, since it's Deadpool, just replace him with Christopher Plummer and never mention it. Just keep calling him Weasel. But yeah, wasn't he like digitally inserted over Kevin Spacey?
Yep. Just
wow. Good move.
But I think at the same time, they also let Kevin Spacey still be in a movie called Billionaire Boys Club.
I remember that coming out, but I have not seen it.
He didn't get digitally taken out for that one, even though it has boys in the title, and considering what he was alleged of.
When you watch Baby Driver, he has a line that's like, I was astonished by the balls on that kid. little problematic. Now, it's time for our famous segment, Developmental Achievements. I always want to say it wrong.
You know, we missed a good opportunity with all these delays and stuff to also make a segment called Arrested Developmental Achievements.
Maybe if we have another big week of movies being delayed, then we can do that.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Okay. Is that a threat?
Yes. I'm coming after you, Hollywood, personally.
He's coming after you, Black Widow.
Yeah. You're never coming out.
Alright. An animated Sonic the Hedgehog TV show is in development titled Sonic Prime. It's going to be at Netflix, and it will explore the multiverse and showcase multiple versions of Sonic and his friends. You are a much bigger fan of Sonic the Hedgehog than I am.
Oh no.
Have they ever well, any fan of Sonic the Hedgehog is a bigger fan than me. Have they ever explored the multiverse before?
Probably in the comics.
There's comics about Sonic?
Oh yeah, there's like a long running series, like Archie comics.
Yeah.
They had a really popular one, and then IDW did. There's a lot to Sonic lore.
Did Sonic fight the Predator?
Not yet.
Oh.
But they did have a crossover with Image Comics.
I love
So
Image.
he met Spawn. And
whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I will say, I will either quit or continue watching. I'd have to see if they go to Universe and Sonic the Hedgehog is there. Because you know they're gonna do it.
Or Ugandan Knuckles.
Okay, no, I'm quitting at that point. Life. That's it. If I have to hear, I don't even want to say.
I'll say anything for this show. Oh yeah, we're gonna try to think of a catchphrase.
There it is. do you know the way, or I'll do anything.
So
I'll say anything.
Since we don't have backing anymore, we gotta stand on our own two feet, and we gotta try to make our show the best show in the world. And to do that, we need a catchy catchphrase. And right now, like, the forerunner is "Do you know the way?" A severely what's the word? Outdated. A severely outdated meme.
If you say that in public, you get executed.
Get punched. Multiple movies are in development about the Wall Street chaos that happened recently. One of which by MGM will be titled The Antisocial Network. That's clever. And another by Netflix will star Noah Centineo, is apparently how you say his name.
Really?
Every time I say Centineo, my girlfriend corrects me.
Well, I think he spells his own name wrong, or says his own name wrong.
Probably. Like Demi Moore or Rafe Fiennes.
So considering he's in this, it'll probably be a love story where he starts off as an incel on Reddit doing the stock market, but he falls in love with a beautiful Wall Street woman.
It's going to be like Joker. A futuristic sci-fi western adaptation of Dracula is in development with Chloe Zhao set to direct. Chloe Zhao directed Eternals and Nomadland. Is that out yet? Is Nomadland out? I don't remember. Okay, then I'll watch it.
I think it's on Hulu?
It is on. I know it went to Hulu whenever it came out. If it did come out. I think it did.
And if I believe correctly, the original ending to the novel Dracula by Bram Stoker was Dracula gets killed by a cowboy. Legitimately. So I guess they're just doing that, but it's in space. Or it'll be like The Invisible Man, where it's like he had a suit that made him invisible. And Dracula's like...
has a suit that made him a Dracula.
Yeah. Maybe this is a secret sequel to Dracula Untold. The game is on. The game is afoot. Whatever they said.
I think he says the game's afoot. So at the end of Dracula Untold, Dracula's just walking around in the modern day in the sunlight. And then Charles Dance, who was like the old Dracula vampire, he also shows up in like a little bowler hat, also in the sunlight, and the regular Dracula sees his love interest, but I guess it's her descendant, or maybe she's reincarnated, and he's like, oh, okay. And then Charles Dance is like, the game's afoot. And then the movie ends.
For a sequel that never happened.
I watched that movie, and I remember none of it, except for that scene.
Maybe this is also a sequel to that Netflix series.
Which I never watched. Because was it by Stephen Moffat?
Yep.
Yep. And Doctor Who and Sherlock really went downhill after a while.
Hooked on a feeling.
we can't get the best show in the world if we're sued by whoever sings that song.
Oh, sure, they must all be dead. Plus the
their
internet.
estate is still around.
Yeah. Plus the internet used that for like years.
This is on YouTube. They'll copyright anything.
Well, it started off as a meme. It was the dancing baby.
Okay.
They used it for years without getting sued. I don't.
That's our catchphrase. Is that baby?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. Oh, I don't have a pen.
Mental notes.
Crap. Yeah, I don't have a pen.
You don't have a single pen?
Oh, hell. Where? I don't know where I would even have a pen. Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther and Creed. He did Creed, right? I didn't double check. Okay, I did not fact check that. Is now developing multiple Disney Plus shows based around Wakanda. Bob Iger, the president of Disney.
He's still around.
He's over all of yeah, because remember he said he was gonna retire, and then he was just like, nah, never mind. He released this quote on the matter.
Ooh.
With Black Panther, Ryan brought a groundbreaking story and iconic characters to life in a real, meaningful, and memorable way, creating a watershed cultural moment. What does watershed mean?
Probably something racist.
He is old. We're thrilled to strengthen our relationship and look forward to telling more great stories with Ryan and his team.
So you can obviously tell that Bob Iger did not write any of that.
Because he doesn't know how to use a computer.
Because I believe he did not believe in Black Panther or Captain Marvel as viable properties.
You're thinking of Ike Perlmutter.
Ah.
Bob Iger is the good one.
Never retracted then. Watershed still sounds racist, though.
Yes. No, yeah, Ike Perlmutter was fired
Good.
many years ago. And by that I mean like at most 3 years ago.
And probably dead.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
But yeah, Bob Iger, the worst thing he's done is put out too much Star Wars, so everyone got tired of Star Wars. He even said when Solo came out, he was like, yeah, that was probably too soon. Because it came out like 3 months after The Last Jedi.
Or
Or
just
4 months.
hot take, or just continuing Star Wars in general.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind the new movies, but I think it would have been the same without them, to be honest.
And now we're getting all the TV shows you could imagine.
Tossed salads and rebooted eggs.
Hey.
So I guess chicks.
What?
Well, rebooted eggs. Chicks.
Interesting.
Frasier. Everyone's favorite show.
Yeah, my favorite show of all time, obviously.
Is being rebooted on Paramount Plus.
Everyone's favorite streaming service.
I don't even think that's on CBS All Access yet. It's like they're just waiting for the big Frasier rollout. With Kelsey Grammer returning as his titular character, Mr. Frasier.
What's his first name? Oh, Frasier is his first name.
Yeah, Frasier Crane.
Yeah. No, to be fair, we made fun of it, but it is a really good show.
Yeah, I mean, it got 12 seasons for a reason.
Holy crap.
Now, there's one of two ways this can go.
What's the first way?
Well, one is like a prestige format. I'm going to use that in every episode now. Show in which it's Frasier contemplating on his life. His dad has to be dead by this point.
I think
they can't bring him back.
I think he's dead in real life.
I mean, he has to be at this point. If he is, good for him.
Too bad we don't Google anything on this show.
Nope. It's a weak search engine for losers.
Yeah. Everyone, Bing for life. Bing, please. That's our catchphrase, is Bing for life.
Bing for life.
Bing, please sponsor us.
Please. You're still around, probably.
Yeah. I assume.
And it's just Frasier, like, moving into modern day and realizing he has to make changes. Or, two, it's Last Man Standing, but with Frasier. And Frasier starts a podcast.
I was about to ask you, do you think Frasier will have a podcast?
It has to be a podcast.
Because nobody listens to the radio.
Though.
Or maybe he's holding on to the radio. He's like the only person on the radio anymore.
And it's the apocalypse. Or you make Frasier like Alex Jones. Which is also good. I'd watch that.
Or J. Jonah Jameson at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. Or, I just remembered this the other day. Michael Rooker in Brightburn.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of Brightburn.
He's like, we got all these not Justice League
Yeah,
people
look at all these
running
people
around.
that are not the Justice League.
Got Warrior Woman and...
Fishman.
yeah.
Maybe an
Aquamonster.
alien.
Good stuff.
Who knows?
The Batcast. Speaking of podcasts,
Hey, sweet segue.
a comedic podcast is in the works at HBO Max, which I guess they're doing podcasts now too.
Good for them. Is it going to be on their streaming service? Or like just on Spotify, but presented by HBO Max?
I assume Spotify? Because I don't know if they would just like put a audio only section on their streaming app. Unless they do. Titled Batman, The Audio Adventures. Starring Jeffrey Wright as Batman. The cast includes John Leguizamo,
Love him.
Ike Barinholtz.
I'm okay with him.
He was in Suicide Squad.
He was.
Kenan Thompson,
I don't care.
Rosario Dawson,
Like her.
Jason Sudeikis,
Like him.
Alan Tudyk,
Love him.
and more.
And I assume I love or hate or am somewhere in the middle about the rest.
Alan Tudyk is definitely playing the Joker again. Or
He
something.
would have to.
Or Clayface, I guess.
Just all his characters he played in Harley Quinn.
Good for Jeffrey Wright.
Yes.
He gets to be Commissioner Gordon and Batman.
But Batman, the Audio Adventures is a dumb name.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's not more egregious than saying Batman the Animated Series. But say the audio series or something like that. Don't say adventures. Batman doesn't have adventures.
Echolocation. That's to a sound.
And he's a bat.
Yeah.
It all ties together. Now we got one comic announcement this week.
It's a new series called Fantastic Four Life Story. So previously there was a series called Spider-Man Life Story.
And what was that about?
It was about Spider-Man, but what if he aged kind of in real time with his publication history?
Yes.
So it starts in the 60s, goes all the way to the late 2010s, because the book was released in like 2019. And so he ages in real time, and it's really good. And Fantastic Four Life Story will be the same, but with 4 people. So it'll probably be like double the length.
Dang.
Interesting thing, though, in Spider-Man Life Story, at a certain point in his life story, he goes to work with the Fantastic Four with Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the same universe in this. So will this be the same or just a different interpretation? Because in that one, you don't see Ben Grimm, the Thing, and you don't see Johnny Storm. They're not there.
Dang.
But the only hint you get is that Susan Storm went off and married Namor the Submariner.
That douche. I hate him.
But I will definitely read it. I hope they make more of these.
I was about to ask you a question, and then I forgot that question. Oh, is this going to be by Chip Zdarsky as well?
I don't believe so.
Ah, that sucks.
Unfortunately.
He did Spider-Man Life Story, right?
Yes. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Very good stuff.
All right. It's time for our famous segment, just as famous as whatever the other one I said was.
Yeah.
Trailer trash.
Trailer trash.
The first trailer we got is for Pacific Rim: The Black. That's a little it's a little iffy.
Yeah.
That title.
There wasn't even black characters in it.
No. So this is an anime in the universe of Pacific Rim.
Though at what point does it take place?
I don't care. I probably won't watch this, to be honest.
It looks interesting enough. I'll probably watch the first episode.
I don't really like anime in general, but I definitely don't like Netflix's animes.
I mean, I haven't seen any of them. Castlevania's good, though.
I watched 5 minutes of Castlevania. I watched the first episode of Parasite. And I watched no other ones that I can remember right now. What even happens in this trailer? I don't remember. I watched it a week ago.
2 kids are looking for their parents, and then they find one of the Jaegers, and they fight monsters with it. And there might be a good monster or a bad Jaeger, and that's what the trailer ends on. And there's also tiny kaiju now.
What?
Yeah.
That's an oxymoron.
Well, it's a little threat for, like, if they're out of their giant robot. They're like, you might be in the giant robot and fight giant monsters, but when you're out, tiny kaiju.
You're gonna fight little monsters.
And
the movie starring Lupita Nyong'o and Josh Gad.
It's very good.
And some guy I don't recognize. But that movie is very good. It's on Hulu. Watch it.
Pacific Rim Black. Probably better.
The Black.
Hope Charlie Day shows up.
Pacific Rim, Meet the Blacks. Coming to America, the number 2. This looks fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I like seeing Eddie Murphy do his Eddie Murphy thing again. I haven't seen the first one. I'm gonna watch it before this new one comes out. I own it on DVD.
It had some good bits. For the most part, I thought it was fine.
That's fair.
Not my favorite, like Eddie Murphy.
What's your favorite Eddie Murphy?
That's a good question.
My favorite is Dolomite Is My Name.
You know, I want to pick that one, but it seems kind of weird since it's like his most recent at this point.
Or my favorite is Shrek 2. What else has he been in? He's
Haunted
been in
Mansion.
I have not seen that. Nutty Professor, I might have watched 5 minutes of.
Nutty Professor and Nutty Professor 2 The Clumps.
And then, didn't they get a spin-off?
That is the spin-off, technically.
Oh, okay. Let's see, what other Eddie Murphy movies can we name?
He's been in Boomerang.
Okay, I haven't seen that. Big Fish? Is that what it's called?
What is... I want to say Hollywood Cop, but...
Oh.
Beverly Hills
Beverly
Cop.
Hills.
1, 2, and 3.
Hollywood Cop.
It's close.
I haven't seen those.
First one's good.
Have I seen Eddie Murphy in anything?
He's been in
besides Dolomite Is My Name and that one Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. You can't Google anything.
I won't use Google.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you use Bing, then we can look things up.
he was in all the Shreks, probably.
Yes. He was not in Puss in Boots.
No. That we know of.
I have seen all the Shreks and Puss in Boots.
Maybe he was in the show.
Oh, was he Mushu?
Yeah, he was Mushu.
Heck yeah. Love him. That would have been really racist if it wasn't. I mean, like, if I had guessed that it was him and it wasn't.
I believe he was in a supporting role in Hollywood Shuffle, I think is what it's called.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an independent movie.
This is a great segment.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Dolittle.
I might have seen the first one when I was a kid.
Norbit. How could I forget?
have not seen Norbit, nor will I ever will.
Tower Heist.
Oh, I saw Tower Heist. That's not my favorite Eddie Murphy movie.
48 Hours.
I don't know what that is.
I think he's with Nick Nolte, maybe?
Ooh.
It's a cop movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Trading Places. It's Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. The setup is like a bunch of rich people are like, we hate Dan Aykroyd because he's going to get a promotion. So what if we take Eddie Murphy, the setup for him is that he's on the street and he's begging for money and it looks like he has no legs. And then they like call him in and then he gets up and runs. And then they're like, what if we made him, Eddie Murphy, rich, and then we took all of Dan Aykroyd's money and made him live on the street?
Okay.
And it gets very racist, and I didn't finish because the DVD didn't work.
Well, I've never even heard... Well, I think I've heard of that, but I've not seen it.
How could I forget? Come on, load. Either 100 or 1,000 words. I forget. 1,000 words.
The one where he can only say 1,000 more words.
That movie came out in a time where it doesn't feel like it should come out.
Oh, I think I've seen...
It's 2012.
Is his stand-up special called Raw?
Yes.
I've seen maybe 15 minutes of that, and I was like, this is a little problematic.
Oh, Meet Dave, of course.
I have heard about that, but I have not seen it. Why do I like Eddie Murphy so much? I mean, he's really good in Dolomite Is My Name.
Well, I think he's a charming guy in general.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Bowfinger is very good.
I have not seen it.
It's Steve Martin. He's a Hollywood producer, and he wants to make a movie about Eddie Murphy's like stand-in. He's doing like a Tom Cruise thing. He goes to a church where they steal all his money and it's fake, like Scientology.
Why is all this so complicated?
I don't know. And they want to make a movie with him in it so he can get lots of investors for his company.
Okay.
But the thing is, they don't tell him he's in the movie. They go around filming him in real life to make a movie.
What the heck?
And then at a certain point in the movie, one of the guys they hired, who's also played by Eddie Murphy, says he's Eddie Murphy's brother.
Eddie Murphy loves playing multiple characters.
He does.
All right, and that was our famous segment.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I mean, by the title.
Okay.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Then that one's my favorite. It's Vampire in Brooklyn. That was our...
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. It was Nick Nolte. It's a weird pairing.
That was our fan favorite segment.
Yep.
What movies were Eddie Murphy in?
Anyway, Coming to America. They did not make as many Wakanda references or jokes as I thought they would.
Didn't they make one?
Yeah.
That's too many.
Well, see, I believe, this is my personal theory.
I believe.
That there was an original draft of this movie where there's like an opening scene where whatever the country that they live in, I think it's made up, was definitely like Wakanda. Like they probably did a whole bunch of jokes. There's probably some kind of joke with Eddie Murphy in a Black Panther suit.
And then Chadwick Boseman died.
And then they had to change a whole bunch of
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, I'm going to change the battery real quick. Now we're going to review some things. First of all, Kid Cosmic.
By Craig McCracken.
What has Craig McCracken done in the past?
A lot, but also not very much, technically. The Powerpuff Girls.
Okay. It's a good show.
Yes. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Also a good show.
Wander Over Yonder.
I've heard that's a good show.
And finally, Kid Cosmic.
Kid Cosmic.
And probably dozens of other, like, directing on other shows and writing. But he's mostly his own creator for the most part.
Good for him.
And he hasn't created anything terrible
Yet.
yet.
Because Kid Cosmic is very good.
It's hard to rank it like above the other things because I grew up with the Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and a little bit Wander Over Yonder. But I would say I would at least rank it above Wander Over Yonder. Nothing wrong with that show. It's just there's a lot going for Kid Cosmic.
Yeah. It's got some amazing animation in it.
Like, really good. Like, probably I would say the best Netflix has had up until this point.
Probably. But I don't watch a lot of animated Netflix stuff.
I do.
What would you say is the next best animated thing on Netflix?
Well, like obvious stuff like BoJack Horseman and...
Oh yeah, but I mean like the animation specifically. Like the how good the animation is.
Well, I get BoJack and...
Okay, yeah, BoJack is pretty good animation.
I like She-Ra and the Princess of Power.
Okay, I've heard that's good. BoJack is maybe my favorite show of all time. BoJack Horseman specifically is what we're talking about.
It's up there.
Anyways, this show, Kid Cosmic, it's about this boy, who's just named Kid Cosmic, or the Kid. He loves superheroes and comics, and he finds this weird space rock that gives him superpowers. He finds 5 or 6?
It's 5.
5 of them.
5.
And eventually he gives them to all his friends and a cat.
Well, the cat's still his friend.
Yeah, that's true. The cat is just sentient.
Yeah. His name is Tuna Sandwich.
The cat is named Tuna Sandwich. You got Kid Cosmic, he can fly. You got Joe. She's a teenager. She can open portals.
Yeah.
There's a toddler named...
I forgot her name.
Her name is... I just said it. She can get real big. What is her name? Is it Rosa? I don't think it's Rosa.
Rosa sounds like it.
Too bad we can't Google anything. We can Bing something. While you're doing that, I'll go with Papa G. He's an old man. He can duplicate himself in infinite amount of times, apparently. But maybe they like come after they disappear.
Like it might be the same ones.
He brings the same ones back because he knows all of them by number. Yeah. And then finally the cat can see the future.
Yeah. It can prognosticate.
I don't like that.
That's what they call it.
It's gross. You might want to get that checked if you're prognosticating.
Yeah, it's Rosa.
Hey, nice. Good for me. That would have been racist if I had gotten that wrong.
The show's very good.
Yes, it is.
It's 10 episodes, but it feels like a movie in a good way.
Also, you got half an alien, voiced by Tom Kenny.
Because it's not a Craig McCracken show without Tom Kenny in there somewhere.
Who does he play in Powerpuff Girls?
Various characters.
Who does he play in Wander Over Yonder?
Various characters.
Who does he play in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Various characters.
Who does he play in this show?
Well, the alien. Stuck Chuck.
Stuck Chuck.
I guess just Chuck now.
I think he has a couple, like, background voices as well. Maybe he's like one of the people that hangs out in the diner.
Probably. Because it's a pretty small voice cast, because there's not a lot of characters.
But also, there is a lot of characters.
Yeah, later on. Like, towards the end, there's a bunch of characters.
Also, this show, like, you'd think that it would just end with, like, the kids using all their powers together, like the Fantastic Four, and just fighting a big villain. But then, like, the big villain that you've been Oh, full spoilers, by the way, for this show. The big villain that shows up is just a wuss. Yeah. Immediately he runs away. He like gets all the rings of power after like having his army beat everyone up, and then a dog runs at him. He's like ah, and then eventually like this government shows up and wrecks everything.
That's the true reveal, is that the real villain was the government all along.
Just like in real life.
Exactly.
Let's abolish the government.
Exactly. If Kid Cosmic taught us anything, it was abolish the government.
Amen.
And it had a lot of good moments, like, I mean, it goes over a bunch of cliches, but, like, it knows it's cliches. Like, even, like, that's the kid's whole thing, is that he reads comic books, so he knows how things go out. There was even a moment where the part in any other show where the villain would be like, I know we didn't see eye to eye, but You got
Oh,
skills, kid. Let's team up, and you work for me.
And the kid's like, no. I know how that goes. You're just gonna betray me.
And then, like, the whole show is about aliens coming down to take these power rings.
Mm-hmm.
And then these, like, big bad aliens that seem powerful, they come down to Earth, and you think they're the bad guys, because that's what you've been shown so far.
Yeah.
But no.
They're not. They just want the last piece of their homeworld back that were all exploded.
Talk about an origin story.
Plus, the kid has a dark origin. He was in the car with his parents, and they got in a car accident, and his parents died. I think they got, like, just demolished by a semi-truck. And that's why he loves superheroes and comics, is that he sees that as his origin story. I really like that.
Also like the reveal that you thought the entire time his power was flying.
It's telekinesis.
Yeah, which he was just using, projecting as, I want to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So he flew. And then, of course, you got the Power Ranger stand-ins. The Earth Force Enforcement Force. They have an extended sequence where they sing that over and over again, and it just keeps going. That's great.
This show goes in so many places. It's crazy.
Also, there's so many deaths in the show. The toddler who can grow real giant gets a bunch of aliens, shoves them back in their ship, and throws them into space.
And then in the next episode, or just later that episode, you see them all just floating around lifeless,
frozen and dead.
And they're like, they're sleeping, and they cover her eyes. That's so dark. And also, all of Papa G's clones get killed a lot.
They had the amazing line. One of them had to cut up a monster, an alien,
with a chainsaw.
With a chainsaw, because the alien came to Earth but couldn't breathe,
and so he just died.
And they had the amazing line. They do amazing things with therapy nowadays, because the clone is just
and the clone's
destroyed.
Just like, yeah, and this is TVY7, but it gets real dark sometimes.
Stuck Chuck the alien, he just uses a gun. They have real guns in the show.
I think just a real, like, a rifle. I think they say damn in this show.
Yeah, the cat says hot damn twice. The cat also gets the ability to speak.
Yeah, he uses...
Not related to the stone.
He uses the aliens translator.
It's a great show.
It is.
I highly recommend it.
Everyone watch it. It's on Netflix.
Out of the 2 shows I have watched this year that came out this year, I would rank it probably number 2. I mean, right now, maybe it's towards number 1 just because there's not enough WandaVision out yet to, like, make it...
That's fair. Right now, WandaVision's my favorite. Then it goes Kid Cosmic. Then History of Swear Words.
I forgot about that. Haven't finished it yet.
And then Marvel Legends. And did I watch anything else? I don't remember. I have them on my phone.
Good show.
Very good show.
Highly recommend.
Now we're going to move on to WandaVision, episode 5. Yes. It's called In a Very Special Episode. And a very special episode this was.
And why was it a very special episode?
Because, and I'll tell you this, full spoilers for the show as well.
A dog dies.
A dog dies.
Just straight up.
Just gets poisoned. Let's just go from the beginning and just kind of talk our way through it. So it opens with Wanda and Vision, and they're like, we hate our kids. They will not stop crying.
And Wanda's powers weren't working, which is interesting.
They weren't working on the kids, specifically.
Yeah. Which, my current ongoing theory right now is that Wanda, as powerful as she is, whatever bigger force is at play, whether it be whatever Agnes really is, or whoever she's serving, whether that be Mephisto, like the townspeople said, it's about the children.
Yeah.
I think
for the children.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that there were no kids in Westview until Vision pointed that out, and I was like, "Oh my word! There's no kids in this place."
I wonder if that's like something, or if that's just a coincidence, because it's not a big town, but surely there had to be some kids there.
I should have noticed that there were no kids when they put on a fundraiser for the kids, but there were no kids there. I'm an idiot.
Unless, like, Wanda sent them out, or kids can't be controlled the same way, so they're just, like, in hiding.
I don't know. I do not know. Oh, actually, I gotta text my dad something real quick. You can keep going. I almost fell over. What happens after that? Oh, the kids grow up. Oh, no, first Agnes shows up.
Yeah.
And she's like, hello, I'm here now.
Agnes is playing along. Like, she's not under control like everyone else. Because in this episode, Vision touches one of his coworkers on the temples and unlocks his, her temple. And
that was not a good sentence at first.
Nope. Vision, don't touch your coworkers. I know this is the 80s, but trust me, it's on the dawn.
It's not even cool now.
And he unlocks his true personality, and the guy just goes like, "Where's my sister? My dad? She's with my dad. He's sick. I need a phone." And then, apparently, Wanda is exuding so much power. She's like mentally controlling nearly everyone in the town. It seems to be a situation where if you can play along well enough, I guess, like she won't like just kill you or whatever, but if you can play along, you can play along. But if you don't, mind control.
Yeah.
Presumably. It could be like a subconscious thing.
I don't know. And then the kids grow up a little bit.
On their own.
On their own. Which is terrifying.
They can just do that.
Kill them. I hate them. I mean, I know that in the comics that they're like really cool characters and everything. I hope they I don't like using the word blossom. And I almost used the word blossom.
That would not have been good.
Grow into the great characters that they are. What else happens? Vision
they get a dog.
The binkies in his ears. That's a funny joke. But he doesn't have ears. And then they get a dog. And oh wait, the intro.
Oh yeah,
the intro
like
is
the most
like,
80s intro.
WandaVision. The baby Vision looks like baby Grinch.
Got him. I was hoping when they did that, they would show like a bunch of computer parts or like a microchip.
I was too, but I liked Baby Vision. I laughed out loud at that part.
Baby Vision.
I was like, what the heck? And then we cut to Monica getting tested on outside of Westview, and she's like, oh man, I can't see my results. I think that's her powers growing in.
I hope so.
I hope that's her powers blossoming.
Still not a good word to use.
And then Jimmy and Darcy show up, and they're like, we're Jimmy and Darcy. We're back, baby. We're in the show still.
For now.
And they have their little whatever. They're being debriefed, and they make a point of how Wanda doesn't have a superhero name. So I think she's going to get the name Scarlet Witch in this show. Well,
she's going to dress like the Scarlet Witch, so I bet the probably Skrull director is going to look at that costume and be like, the Scarlet Witch, there we have it.
Yeah, he thinks that the director of S.W.O.R.D. is a Skrull.
At this point, he has to be. Because he starts off being nice and friendly to Monica, but once he gets like, there...
shoot missiles everywhere.
Kill them.
Just kill them all. Which is fair. She is holding an entire town hostage. You know, I think Agnes is holding the town hostage. Because Norm, when Vision wakes him up, he doesn't say Wanda is holding them. He just says she. And Wanda is like, I don't know how this started, but I like it.
Well, I guess it would be Agnes through Wanda.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, Wanda is the one actually doing everything, presumably.
She has control over everything. But I don't know if she set it up. I don't have any more theories than that sentence I just said. I just think Agnes has something to do with it too.
Also, really depressing for Vision. This entire time, I thought he could at least remember other stuff.
Yeah, no. I did too.
He's just like this Westview. That's all he knows.
That was such good acting from him, because he's like full on stage acting, just yelling at his wife.
Because he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so scared. I don't remember my life outside of Westview. What is out there?
Maybe Wanda should have fixed that. Like, given him some memories.
So Monica flies a drone, an 80s drone that says Stark Industries on it, by the way, into the sitcom, the Hex as it's now called. And she tries to contact Wanda. I don't think she can hear her. And then
I don't think so.
The director is like, blow him up.
Shoot a missile at him.
And Monica's like, what? And so they try to, but then her eyes glow red, and something happens. You don't see what. And then they're like, oh my god, everyone run, there's a breach. And then Wanda just walks out. And that was like oh, dang.
Turns all the guns on the director.
Yeah, she's like, hey, please go away.
in her Sokovian accent, which she's using again.
Hello. Please go away. That's my Sokovian accent. Do you like
very
it?
Good.
Thank you.
They also mentioned the Sokovia Accords, which... Why are those still around?
Because they still need to be in effect. Like
Endgame happened.
Yeah, but that wasn't their fault. That was Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. Endgame happened. All the superheroes showed up without having to follow any of those stupid rules and save the day. What was the government gonna do?
They all
absolutely nothing.
Look, they
abolish the government.
The government. Actually, I was talking to my sister Alex about this. How do Monica and Jimmy know the exact scenes from Endgame? Because she's like, well, Wanda would have beat up Thanos if he didn't call in a blitz, and then Jimmy's like, actually, Captain Marvel probably did well too.
Because they watched Avengers Endgame.
They went to the theater. It is the highest grossing movie of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if they watched it.
I assume the Avengers have some PR person.
Yeah, did they just put out a blog?
Yeah.
Or me and my sister were talking, what if there was just somebody on the sidelines filming it with their phone, and they're just like, this is the most I can comprehend. I can't even understand what's happening right now. There's a tree walking around. There's big space monkeys.
Thor just came back and he has a haircut.
There's freaking whales flying around. Ugh. Also, remember when there was supposed to be an Inhumans movie? Imagine all the Inhumans walking through those portals as well.
And then they're told to go home.
Yeah, they're just like, no. Back up, Anson Mount. Get your dog and get out of here.
Go to the barn.
Yeah, put your dog in the barn and leave it there, just like you did in your show. Where was I in the show?
Bunch of stuff happened.
Oh yeah, she walks out of the Hex and she's like, leave me alone.
I mean, Hex goes with the witch thing, but also when Scarlet Witch shoots bolts of energy or does anything with her powers, they call those Hex bolts in the comics.
Interesting. So. And she walks back in. She does something. I think she was setting it up so when that episode ended that they're in right now, the decade would change. That's my theory of, because as she walks in, she does something to the outside of it. She also could be just adding more protection to it so people can't get in.
Monica also contacts somebody, an engineer, to build that tank car thing that we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
To just ram into the wall. Which he also says Spectrum in that.
She says...
And Photon.
And Photon, which are both superhero names that she has in the comics.
Which was also... Photon was her mom's call sign, I believe. Or
yes.
Yeah.
Photon was.
Oh yeah, Monica's just mad at Captain Marvel for not being on Earth for forever, for missing her mom's death, presumably.
Yeah.
I mean, she was on Earth. Well, no, she was in space in Endgame.
I think, yeah, she came back when everyone got snapped blipped, and she's like, "Where's Fury?" And they're like, "Who are you? Get out of here!" And then she went up and she saved Stark, and then she's like, "All right, I'm gonna get a haircut. Bye." She goes into space, but she's an Avenger in space.
Yeah. And I guess she just never saw Monica or Monica's mom.
Maria.
Yeah,
I guess not. Who do you think the aerospace engineer is? Logically, I think it would be Rhodey.
Is he an engineer?
Apparently.
I thought he just worked with the army and then just got a suit.
Apparently he's an aerospace engineer. But also, I'm sorry, I asked you a question, but I haven't gotten your answer yet.
Well, my going thing is it'll be a new character.
Yeah.
Or it'll be Dr. Helen Cho from Age of Ultron.
Agents of Ultron.
To further tie back, because Vision was in that. That's where he appeared first.
That's fair.
Plus, we haven't seen her since. So.
But also, nobody cares about her. Nobody cared about Darcy either, though. Yeah. She's back.
It's Iron Man's daughter. That's who it is.
It also could be a Richards. It could be Reed or Sue, who are Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Girl or Woman.
It's Willie Lumpkin, their mailman.
Willie Lumpkin, their mailman. It's the Impossible Man. He's back. I love that guy. And then she goes and tries to find their dog, and the dog's dead. And Agnes is like, "Oh man, your dog's dead. It ate the poison that's in my front yard."
Whoops.
Oops. And then the boys look at each other and they're like, "Mom, just bring him back." And she's like, "Shut up."
Hits her kid. It takes a real dark turn. You know, the sitcom they emulated in this episode was the slap. They ran past all the decades up until the slap.
I'm gonna put that clip in. I don't usually put clips into this show, but I'm gonna put the clip of the slap in right now. And then what happened? Oh yeah, and then Wanda's like, "I can't bring people back to life. Okay, dead is dead."
Vision was an exception just because he's a
robot, and she barely has him alive.
Yeah. It's weird that apparently Wanda doesn't seem to want to do anything to Agnes. It's weird.
Yeah, she's just like, Agnes is just here. She doesn't care that Agnes knows everything.
Because with Geraldine, she knew she was an outsider, but for Agnes, she's allowed to go off script or do things like kill their dog.
I think they worked together to make this hex. Her and Agnes.
Well, in the comics, Agatha Harkness.
Sure.
Is
who this might be.
Yeah, is closely related to the Scarlet Witch and Vision, and she is also a magic user.
Well, yeah.
And it could have been another connection. Wanda could have gone to like Strange first and been like, "Teach me a spell to bring Vision back," or whatever.
And Strange just is like, no,
shaky hands. So then she went to Agatha Harkness, who's like a evil Doctor Strange, I guess.
And she's like, "All right, I'm gonna need his body," and Scarlet Witch is like, "Bet." Then just runs off. She like bursts through the sword compound or whatever. You see that footage. That was pretty cool.
That's also another interesting thing. Apparently the entire show we've been seeing thus far has taken place at least over 9 days.
Yeah. Plus, there's episodes of the sitcom that we don't see.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah. We see an episode a week, but there's other episodes that Wanda is making that we don't see that the characters in universe are seeing.
Well, apparently she only has mental breakdowns in the parts we see.
Yeah,
presumably.
we see the important part. We see the highlights. And then...
the big thing.
Hold on. We're almost there. Vision comes home and he's like, "I buried the dog." And then she's like, "Oh, well, I'm in a sitcom." And then Vision's just like, "I woke Norm up." He's freaking out. His dad's dead probably. And she's just like, let's end this episode. And then the credits start rolling. He's like, "No, stop. We're not done here." And then she walks into the living room and he's like, "Hey, come back. I'm going to yell real loud and be really good at acting.
I have no memories.
I do not remember anything before Westview. I don't know who I am. I'm really scared." And Wanda's like, "I don't know how this happened, but we're here now." And then the doorbell rings. And Vision's like, "Ugh." And then also I noticed that he bows his head a lot to her in this episode. He does it right. He's like, "You can't control me," and she's like, "Can't I?" And then he goes like this, and the credits start rolling, and then he's like, "No, wait a minute." And then when the doorbell rings, he bows his head again.
Well, it might be that, because presumably from what we've seen, especially just after, her control is weird. Like, she can control certain things, but some things might just happen. Like her kids doing whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And with the Vision, maybe she is like actually puppeteering him from scene to scene. But she's activated him enough that he'll do his own thing. Also,
it's important to note that Agnes was around every time the kids aged up. Also, she definitely just killed that dog.
It's interesting that Wanda doesn't know, because I assume if she would say something.
I have no idea.
But she says she doesn't know how she got here either, technically.
And then Wanda opens the door, and who is it but Peter Maximoff from the X-Men movies?
Evan Peters
himself.
Incredible.
What the... And he's like, "Hey, I'm a sweet swinging 80s guy."
I wish he had a Sokovian accent.
And Vision's just like, "Who are you?" And then Wanda says, "Pietro?" And then he gives... Like, his name is Peter, but he's been rewritten into this sitcom. So he gives her like a close enough kind of a look and hugs her. And then he's like, "Who's the popsicle?" That's a good joke. Vision does look like a popsicle.
He's been recast, as Darcy says.
Oh, yeah. And then Darcy's looking at that, and she's like, "They recast Pietro?"
Yeah, so apparently Wanda's powers are so great at this point that subconsciously or accidentally she pulled, presumably, Foxman.
It is.
Quicksilver.
It's definitively is
Okay.
Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. Because in the audio description of that scene...
Unless they take this back. If Kevin Feige bursts down our door and says, you can't say
Kevin
that.
Feige has a no. And then... But the lady is like, in Westview, Pietro from the X-Men films is standing in the door.
So Wanda just took him straight from the Foxman universe to Westview.
Mm-hmm. She can't bring people back to life, but she can accidentally bring in a new life. Which she did make new lives.
Which maybe she'll do that later. Be like, you know what? Dead Vision sucks. Maybe I'll get a vision from a different universe.
Get him from... was he in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
Yes.
Okay.
He was also in the one from the 90s.
Okay. He was also in the next Avengers. He was ahead most of the movie. And that was our great edition of WandaVision episode 5.
It's just gonna get crazier from here.
I wasn't expecting like a multiverse kind of a thing like this so soon.
I thought that would be like the very end.
Yeah, or like the next couple episodes.
I hope that's only how other universe or like important characters enter now. It's just they knock on the door and it's just someone else. Like Captain Marvel comes to beat up Wanda. It's Captain Marvel. Doctor Strange come in. Well, shaky knock. It's like it's Doctor Strange.
I've never been so animated alone in my apartment at 8:40 in the morning than I was watching the ending of WandaVision episode 5 in a very special episode.
A very special episode indeed.
And now it's time for a very special segment called Birthdays.
Birthdays.
What a great segue I had.
Yep.
Oh, hey, what's a new catchphrase we can have?
Catchphrase.
What a great catchphrase you just said.
That's the new catchphrase. What a great catchphrase.
What a great catchphrase we have.
Oh, starting off with a good one.
Okay.
Happy and I guess unhappy birthday at the same time.
Interesting.
To whatever number he was, Ronald Reagan.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna give him birthday, Ronald.
A star of whatever the most recent Call of Duty game is. Because he was in that. And Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, are you still on Ronald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday to Dane DeHaan.
Happy birthday, Dane.
Who I get confused with like another guy who looks exactly like him.
Who?
Whoever wasn't the Green Goblin in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And in Valerian, the City of 1,000 Planet Cities.
That's the same person.
Yeah, I said whoever wasn't. Happy birthday to one of the half men on 2.5 Men, Ashton Kutcher.
Happy birthday, Ashton.
Happy birthday to Rip Torn.
Oh, dang. R.I.P. Rip. Also, happy birthday, Rip.
Last episode, I forgot we just said happy birthday and then listed them, and I didn't say happy birthday to each of them. So I don't know whether to continue that halfway through or not.
What?
Last episode, we just said happy birthday and then listed all the names instead of saying happy birthday.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I at least said happy birthday every time.
Continuing.
Anyways.
Happy birthday to Eddie Izzard.
Happy birthday, Eddie. Love that guy.
Happy birthday to Charles Dickens.
Happy birthday, Charles.
Happy birthday to Chris Rock.
Hey, happy birthday, Chris.
Speaking of Age of Ultron and WandaVision, kind of. Happy birthday to James Spader.
Happy birthday, James. I hope James Spader has a cameo in this show. That'd be pretty cool.
He knocks on the door and you're expecting Ultron, but it's just the actor
like,
James
"Hey."
Spader.
Imagine just Ultron walking in. It's like they have a episode where the parents come in, and it's Wanda's parents and then Ultron.
We'll see I guess we're derailing this again. In WandaVision so far, the ads have been like a timeline of hers.
Yeah.
Like presuming the first people are her parents, which some people think. Then Hydra.
Oh.
And then the paper towels are like for big mistakes. Like when you blow up a building and kill a bunch of people.
And Lagos is the city that she blew that guy up in.
They just missed the
Another
Ultron.
building.
Though if there is an Ultron ad, I hope it's like a video game.
Well, that would just be Hydra.
Yeah.
And Strucker.
Yeah. Strucker, so...
Watch.
Yeah.
Strucker Watch.
Happy birthday to another James, and star of the movie that I hope will be released soon, the CGI dog movie. There's no CGI dogs, it's just a CGI person. James Dean.
Oh, happy birthday, James. Yeah, so there's a movie about dogs, I guess.
Dogs in War.
About dogs in war, and they're...
Vietnam, too, which is also past James Dean's point, but whatever.
They want to digitally recreate James Dean to be in the movie. I don't know why, because you just have to get another actor to play James Dean. It doesn't matter. Keep going. Keep it rolling. Happy birthday, James.
Happy birthday to Seth Green.
Happy birthday, Seth.
Happy birthday. We're coming back full circle again. Nick Nolte.
Hey, happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday to Michael B. Jordan.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Happy birthday to Joe Pesci.
Happy birthday, Joe. Classic.
Happy birthday to Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh, happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday. Full circle again.
Oh, no.
I didn't plan this. Charlie Day.
Whoa! What did we talk about, Charlie?
Pacific
Day?
Rim.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Charlie.
Happy birthday to Emma Roberts.
Okay, happy birthday, Emma.
Happy birthday to Chloe Grace Moretz.
Happy birthday, Chloe.
Happy birthday to Elizabeth Thanks. Oh, no.
Oh, not your crown. Happy birthday, Elizabeth.
Happy birthday to Laura Dern.
Happy birthday, Laura.
Happy birthday to Jennifer Aniston.
Happy birthday, Jennifer. That's a lot of birthdays.
No, and all women. I don't know why it came out that way.
Charles Dickens is my favorite female author.
Yes. Happy birthday to Taylor Lautner.
Happy birthday, Taylor.
Happy birthday to Thomas Edison.
Happy birthday, Thomas. Thanks for the electricity.
Though I guess not happy birthday, since he didn't make it free like Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Burt Reynolds.
Happy birthday, Burt. He's dead, isn't he?
Yes. Happy birthday, Leslie Nielsen.
Who was that?
Airplane?
Oh, God, I was thinking of Leslie from
Jones?
SNL. Yes, Leslie Jones. No. Yes, happy birthday, Leslie.
Happy birthday to Jeb Bush. Because you know the meme where it shows like the political map and it's all Jeb? It's good stuff.
That's our catchphrase.
Yep, good stuff.
Happy birthday, Jeb.
And finally, very special, happy birthday. And again, full circle. I don't know how this keeps happening. Alex Jones.
Whoa!
Proud sponsor.
Unhappy birthday to Alex Jones. Unless he sponsors us, then happy birthday.
We'll sell your brain pills or whatever.
Yeah, I'll sell anything for money.
Yep.
I will sell myself for money.
To Alex Jones.
This is the end of the daily placeholder. As you can probably tell throughout this episode, I'm really tired, so I'm going to go to sleep now.
On the table.
On this table.
He's not going to turn the camera off. This is going to fall.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, New York.
Say hi to your mom for me.
Yeah.